So, if you're a newer creator and you're curious about monetization on YouTube and how long it takes and what's realistic to earn and all of that stuff, I'm happy to share with you today what it looks like for me after having posted 60 videos on YouTube. I'm going to recount a little bit of my 7-month journey, talk about how much I've made, the different income streams, what I learned, if this whole thing was worth it, how I've been tracking, and finally some thoughts on YouTube entrepreneurship towards the end. So let's just jump right in. We'll start at the very beginning. Last July of 2024, I posted my very first video. 20 videos in, at the end of September, I had made my first dollar. It was $1.14 that I'd earned through Amazon affiliates. Someone had clicked a link in the description of one of my videos. They made a purchase of an iPhone screen protector, something completely unrelated to anything I was talking about. But I got the $1.14 nonetheless. And it was actually a really cool day because it just allowed me to believe that it was possible to make money on YouTube. So at the time, I had just reached 20 videos and 335 subscribers on the channel. Now, fast forward into the November, December timeframe of last year, I had another income stream coming in. This was my YouTube coaching that I had just turned on at the beginning of November. And I had earned a total of $717 all in at the time as of December 9th. And that was right when I had 40 videos on the channel. I had just over 1,300 subscribers. And as you can see, a little bit more on the Amazon affiliate income, around $21 in total. But back then, I was still very brand new, just like I am now. And I thought maybe I can help other newer creators start their channels as well. So I earned a few clients and was able to bring in some extra money. Now, fast forward all the way through today, the first few weeks of February, I'm now at my 60th video on the channel, and I'm at right around 3,200 subscribers. And as you'll see, I now have some additional income streams coming in the form of Buy Me a Coffee, which, if you're not familiar, is essentially kind of like Patreon. It's a third-party platform. You can set up an account, and if you have folks that like your channel, they can then support you with like a one-time Buy Me a Coffee, or they can do a monthly membership as well. And then also, I'm recently monetized through AdSense. So I've earned a little bit of money from that as well. That's ad revenue, supers, and also channel memberships. So all in, my grand total after 7 months of hard work is $1,813, of which about $1,600 of that is from my YouTube coaching business. So obviously, I hope this doesn't come off as me bragging, because these numbers are not very braggable. But I show this because I think it's important, and I hopefully want to provide some, just some transparency and visibility to other newer folks out there who are really just wondering what it's like, if making money on YouTube is viable, and what it looks like to earn money through AdSense. So let me know what questions you have in the comments below. And obviously, there are people who will have done YouTube for shorter than me, who have a more mature product that they're able to sell and make way more money, and that's awesome and good for them. There are other people who they'll try YouTube for a couple years and it won't work out and they really won't make much money on it. I feel fortunate and blessed that I've been able to devote as much time as I have and to earn what I've earned. And I know that there is a long road ahead in order to make this a full-time income, but very early stages. So if you guys like these kinds of updates, let me know, and I'll be sure to do more in the future. So let's transition. What did I learn from the last 6 months, 7 months, I should say, of trying to monetize my YouTube channel? So I would say the first thing is that you really don't need to be an expert in order to monetize your skills. And I think a lot of times that's what holds a lot of newer creators back, is that we think, hey, we're so new, we don't have a following, we don't know a lot about this subject matter, so how can I possibly sell something? And I guess it really just depends on the niche and what your channel's mission or goals are. But if you're a talking head or a knowledge educational channel like I'm doing, you can really start to monetize your knowledge as quickly as you're gaining it, because there's always going to be people just a few steps behind you. And rather than waiting until you have, like a 12th grader level understanding of trying to monetize your knowledge, you can monetize it as early, and like in my case, a couple of months in. So like imagine I'm a third grader monetizing my skills to help out the first and second graders who need a little bit of a helping hand. So that's really how you can get started with something like this. Of course, if you're making a physical product, that's a little bit different. You have to manufacture that. If you're doing merchandise, it's a whole nother different animal all in of itself. But also, just know that it's an evolution. And as you accumulate more knowledge and more expertise, and as you come up with more things to sell, That's just going to add to your overall arsenal of revenue income. Now, if you're still feeling like, hey, I don't really have anything of value to talk about, who would listen to me? Why would anyone watch my videos? And this is preventing you from even getting to even thinking about monetizing your skills. I do have a video I posted a few days ago. You should check it out. I'll put a card up here. You can click on the link, but only after you watch this one. It's really designed for anyone who's having imposter syndrome. And we talk a little bit about why you might feel fake when you're trying to make your YouTube videos. Now, the second thing I would say to answer this question about what I learned is sometimes it's tough to know how to price our product or our service. And honestly, I think a lot of it's going to have to come from experimentation. And sometimes we will get in our heads also that, hey, we're so new, we don't know a ton. I don't feel like I can charge this amount for this product or service. And I would encourage you to let the free market make the decision as to what your value is. If you're getting some nibbles and bites, then you're probably priced correctly. If no one's buying at all, you might be too high. And if you're overwhelmed in demand, then your pricing might be too low. But I would also encourage you to resist the urge to sell out of your own pocket, meaning don't assume people have the same amount of money as you do. If they have more money, they may be more apt to spend it. So don't value your product based on your own perceived notion of it. Let the free market be the determining factor there. And then the third thing, and I think we all know this to be true, but it's one of those things where we don't really believe it until we see it, is that AdSense is very lackluster, especially for a newly monetized channel. It really doesn't make a ton of sense to try and rely on AdSense revenue. So let me show you what this looks like in the YouTube studio. I've been monetized through AdSense for a few weeks now, and I think the algorithm is still trying to figure out like what ads to serve my viewers. And I think in time, my CPM and RPM will increase only slightly. But even then, when you look at my RPM, and the RPM is the amount of money the creator gets for every 1,000 views on the video, the CPM is what YouTube gets. Now, of course, we get a portion of that. But if you look at my RPM, it's anywhere from 83 cents or 38 cents all the way up to almost $8. And when you extrapolate that out, if I'm doing about 1,000 views every day or every 2 days, it's, it's like $3 to $6 per day. And over a month, that's, barely paying the cable bill. So I know this is very early days for me, but I wanted to just give you guys kind of a realistic understanding or visual of what it looks like once you're monetized through ads. Is the numbers don't just skyrocket. They are very small at the beginning, unless you're having a very viral moment and your just channel is blowing up left and right and you're getting tens of thousands of views. That's a different story. But if you're like me and you kind of inch your way towards the YouTube partner program, then this is kind of what you should expect to see on your channel. So here's the question. Was it all worth it? The 7 months of trial and error, of being uncomfortable, of struggling and working long hours and sacrificing and saying no. And I would say, yes, it was absolutely worth it. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Most are non-financial, as you can imagine, but it's all of the skill building and the community building that's made this whole endeavor fun and enjoyable and invigorating. Of course, there's the challenges that come with it, the stress, the self-doubt, the anxiety, the checking the YouTube studio way too much. But in the sum total, when I reflect back on the last 7 months, there's a lot to be proud of. There's a lot I feel good about myself because there was a lot of things I didn't think I could even do that I've done. And so if you're out there and you're just starting and you're seeing this huge mountain ahead of you, yes, it's going to be tough, but you should keep putting each foot in front of the next, because you'll eventually start to make your way up and it will feel good as you start ascending. And for me, I still have a huge mountain ahead of me. I got to make way more money than I've been making, and that's fine. That's okay. I'm prepared to take the journey, but you're going to learn a lot of skills. You're going to meet a lot of great people. You're going to learn all about content creation. And then if you do want to make this a side hustle or a legitimate full-time income, you're going to learn a ton about business and entrepreneurship. And there's so many great, facets of entrepreneurship that I think I have yet to even experience, but that seem like they're on the horizon. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, let's talk briefly about how I've been tracking my progress towards monetization and the money that I've been making. So for those of you who've been watching my channel, you will recognize this document. This is a screenshot of a Google Sheet that I built since the very beginning of my YouTube journey. It was designed to help me follow my progress towards monetization, meaning 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours. Since I have met both of those milestones. I've changed it. Now, what I'm tracking in this document is towards 5,000 subscribers and $1,000 through AdSense. I've also changed the view from tracking week over week to now month over month. And so, as you can see, if you notice, I've got July all the way through February on the left side there. You can see how I'm doing each month in terms of views, the number of watch time hours I've been getting each month, what my average percentage viewed, click through rate, subscribers, impressions, all of that fun stuff, in addition to how much I've earned and how many videos I've posted. So it's a really great visual. In October, I hit my 1,000 subscribers. That's why it's bolded there in black. And then in January is when I hit my 4,000 watch time hours. So, the goalposts continue to move. Every time you hit a milestone, you got to march towards the next one. And then, of course, all the line graphs in here really just give me that visual representation of the progress that I'm making. So if you are out there and you are starting out and you want to know how long it's going to take you to reach your monetization targets, guess what? I have a Google Sheet for you. Check the link in the description below. Feel free to grab it. It is free. Just make a copy and you'll be well on your way. If you end up using it and you have questions, just leave me a comment and I will be happy to help you out with it. Now, the last thing I'll say is that it's never too early to start researching business models. So what I mean by that is a lot of us early on, we see getting monetized through AdSense as like the first major hurdle, the first milestone to achieve. But what we probably don't do as much is think beyond that and what's after AdSense monetization. Because as you've seen with my channel in particular, ad revenue is certainly not going to be enough to pay the bills. So it's never too early to start thinking more broadly, more down the line of how am I going to manage this and make more money from my YouTube channel. And so what I've been doing in Miro is dissecting certain creators that I really admire to try to better understand their business models. So you'll notice on the left side, I have Sonny Lenarduzzi, and then on the right side, I have Nolan Molt, both of which are content creators on YouTube. They serve different niche audiences. And I've been following a lot of their content, and I feel like they've got really sound business models that I really want to try and learn more about and potentially emulate. So Sunny, if you're familiar with her, she's got really good course material, and she has a very simple funnel where she's basically got one PDF lead magnet that I know of, and then one virtual sales letter, like a webinar, that both have a CTA to get people to book a consultation call. And then from that consultation call, that's when they evaluate the applicant and then sell their premium product for their, I think it's the Authority Accelerator program. Now, Nolan on the other side, he's working with people more one-on-one. He's doing more one-on-one and group coaching. He's got a school community. He has some course content in there with a lot of resources. But that's the crux of his business model, is that he's working with people in a 90-day period. He has these smaller cohorts, and he's using school as his primary platform. So all that to say, depending on which niche you are in, there's going to be a variety of ways you could potentially build a business and monetize your skills. For me in this education space, these are both very applicable for me, but not in the short term, maybe more so in the long term. But I would encourage you, if you haven't already done an exercise similar to this, is look for one or two creators that you admire in your niche and try to figure out how they make their money. Go to their website, click on their links, check their descriptions, look for links, look for affiliates, look for sponsorships, look for merch, and see if they have lead magnets, see if they have webinars, see if they have paid courses, see if they have free content, see what platforms their communities are all participating on. And this will give you a really good handle of how you could potentially model out your own business down the road once you make inroads in that respect. So if you are serious about getting your YouTube channel started and growing, and you want to work with me directly, feel free to click the link in the description below. If you want to book a free 15-minute consultation, I would love to work with you and learn more about your ambitions. And of course, if you want to learn more, because we've been talking about money, about the YouTube Partner Program and all the perks and benefits that come with monetizing your channel, be sure to check the video right over here so you can learn all about that. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.